Hey guys, it's Nikki from StealthShampoo, and I'm here with DB.
Hello, world.
And I'm proud to bring you guys the world's very first look at the sneaky snake Pendles. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our helix right here. And take Cobra Strike Pendles will dash forward a short distance upon activation of injection. That is Pendles' second ability. You guys can see it on my E key. That will poison enemies, do a ton of damage, as well as slow them for a short period of time.
Cobra Strike. The opposite of the Cobra Strike is Poison Cloud. This will increase the duration of the Smoke Bomb's Poison Cloud.
Yeah, so Smoke Bomb, which I'll toss out in just a moment. I'm already cloaked right now, so no need to re-cloak. Let's go ahead and now toss Smoke Bomb down on the floor right there. That'll leave a little bit of an area that will damage enemies, and I can get out safely. Now, Smoke Bomb can only be tossed on the ground right now, but I'm actually going to take a Helix Augmentation. Ninja-neering Smoke Bombs can now be thrown. And while that does sound like a not so impressive Helix, it's actually pretty helpful in combat, and you gotta keep in mind, being able to throw things as a snake is quite a feat itself.
Absolutely. I love that little tentacle throw that he does with the Smoke Bomb. If you're going down the left-hand side of the Helix, you're going to pick the Flash Bomb instead there on the number 2 pick. This is going to blind enemies for a short period of time. As you mentioned, the Slippery Snake Assassin, he is a hired assassin in the lore. As a matter of fact, the bird skeleton that he's using as one of his commas there on the left-hand side is actually one of his victims, one of his marks, if you will.
Yeah. He messed with the wrong guy. He messed with the wrong snake, DB. Now, let's talk about Pendles' passive here, because it's one of the coolest passives in the game, in my opinion. You can see right now before I can even finish that sentence, it's so quick. I am now cloaked. I'm uncloaked right now, and I'm going to automatically cloak when I'm out of enemies' line of sight for an indefinite amount of time. You're actually faster while cloaked, but that means while you're uncloaked, you move a little bit slower. And this is a very useful tool to get in and out of combat, but mostly to approach enemies from behind and do damage. You can also cloak by tossing down a Smoke Bomb. So Pendles should be spending, if you're a good Pendles player, most of his game invisible, or at least a good portion of it, so that you can reposition behind enemies, do some damage, and then potentially Smoke Bomb out. The Smoke Bomb does do damage, so it is a good way to finish off enemies if necessary.
Very cool stuff indeed. Right-hand side of the Helix is that Glass Cannon Assassin. On the left-hand side, it allows you for more survivability. Nikki here in this story mode mission, going more so on the right-hand side with that assassin character, especially with the Miko support. It's going to be very effective to damage enemies and rip through this story mode. Battleborn can be played in a story mode here, single player or cooperatively, and of course there's a 5-player PvP as well, 5v5, and I can't wait to see Pendles in that multiplayer action.
Oh yeah, DB. Now Pendles has a ranged ability also. While he uses dual commas up close to chop down his enemies, he can use his throwing stars at range to take enemies down. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it can be decent for trying to finish people off at a distance, and will also help poke at your enemies if you decide to do that. So if you hold down the right click, or that is left bumper on your consoles, that'll allow you to do some damage at range. You can actually augment this ability to throw 3 throwing stars at once instead of just 1. Let's go ahead and pick up our next ability here though, DB. That's going to be Backstab. Now, Lifesteal is something we're familiar with on Generate characters and also Deandy, but right here we're going to grab Backstab. The assassin characters like Deandy have Lifesteal, but since we have a Miko on the team, that Lifesteal is not going to be necessary. Miko will help keep me alive. And I get a lot of people around my streams asking me, hey Nikki, what's the best Helix to take? What's the best gear to take? And that really depends on what you like personally, as well as your team composition and the enemy team composition. Lifesteal would be a little bit more necessary if I didn't have a reliable healer at my back, or if, say, for example, I was playing by myself.
Yeah, and those Helix choices may even change mid-match. You may have a plan for that, and then go in and realize you actually need more health and go down on that life steal side of the tree.
Exactly, DB.
Working on the enemies here. And this character, Pendles, is one of 5 free characters coming at you in Battleborn. Alani was the first, Pendles is the second. A third character is coming at you very soon.
Oh yeah.
The date for Pendles release is August 4th. And you'll get them if you have early access on July 28th. Very soon.
Exactly, DB. And I'm really excited about the next character. I have a feeling he's going to explode onto the scene, DB.
Excellent stuff. Here we're moving through, and this mission here, what are you doing exactly?
We're here to defend 3 different nodes, save Caldarius, DB. But you know what the people really want to know about is the ultimate that I just unlocked. So if I push F here, you'll see I'll go into third person, and a little bit of a greenish, yellowish aura will appear around me. And that will allow me to damage enemies as I get near them. Similar to Galilea's abysmal form, I can do a ton of damage, help zone enemies out, and it will reduce the cooldown of my skill number 2 drastically.
Yeah, when the enemy figures out that they have a Pendles on the field, they realize that once they get you out of cloak, you could potentially be an easy target. You can pop that ultimate and really just scare them away from you with that cloud of smoke.
They have 2 choices, take damage or run away from the snake. Let's go ahead here and kill the boss. We're going to drop a cloak, toss the smoke bomb, and come in right behind him for the extra damage. And we're going to get my ultimate off of cooldown. We'll use that to help tear through the second stage of enemies as we finish up this one right here. I'm going to grab some gear here, DB.
Let's see it.
One thing I'm asked about a lot on stream is what kind of gear should I use on this character, that character. On Pendles right now, because I'm not on my own account, we're not using my favorite gear, but we're using a couple good ones. You can change it up to fit the way you want to play in your particular build, but I'm going to go with skill damage, attack damage, and cooldown time, minus recoil. Or actually, that's plus recoil. That is a negative attribute. A lot of people ask me, Nikki, why would I like to use a piece of gear with a bad attribute on it? And that's because some of those bad attributes don't actually impact your character. Pendles doesn't really have recoil being a melee-based character.
Right.
So by taking that negative attribute, your gear is cheaper, and that negative attribute doesn't actually impact you. So it's actually a good thing to have more recoil on Pendles.
Absolutely. I love that on Miko as well. It's the same situation.
Yeah, pro tip there for you guys listening. And let's go ahead and grab another Helix right here before we sneak through the next area. We're going to go Sweet Spot. Injections damage dealt from behind is increased by 25%. And that pairs well with Backstab on 3.
Absolutely. If you are, though, indeed looking for more survivability, level 6, a left-hand side choice is Faint. This smoke bomb propels Pendles backwards, so you can get out of dodge if you run into some trouble.
Exactly, DB. And let's go ahead and take this Thrall Brute down right here using all my abilities. We're going to toss the smoke bomb out there to get the cloak and poison him up. Then we're going to toss the ultimate here, and this might be overkill, and it absolutely was. But by using injection right there, right after the ultimate, it lowered my cooldown to 3 seconds. You can usually toss out 2 injections before your ultimate ends. So I highly recommend you guys combo your abilities like that for maximum pendlage.
Purchasing the buildables there, it's going to help you out here with the enemies. And what are some of the other abilities this sneaky snake has?
Oh, you know what? We forgot to talk about his talent, DB, Snakeborn, which reduces Pendles' CC duration by 25% if he's attacked by an enemy. So say, for example, Wrath smashes you up, Kelvin sublimates you, you just so happen to stumble into a Galt mine, you can actually reduce the amount of time you are stunned by 25% just by playing Pendles, because that's his talent.
Very cool.
And you know what, DB? I'm feeling some tacos right now. I don't know about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're actually going to head out. It's getting pretty late over here. You guys can enjoy Pendles hitting your consoles and PC very soon. Check me out on Twitch and Twitter as well. StealthShampoo, and go check out Battleborn Game on Twitter for some more updates on some upcoming characters.
On behalf of 2KN Gearbox Software, this is DB. I'm here with StealthShampoo, and we are out.
See you guys later.